Some shocking new allegations against rapper Sean Combs, also known as P. Diddy. The fifth lawsuit in the last month was filed against him. The woman bringing this latest lawsuit says she was only 17 when she was a victim of gang by Combs and his associates.
I don't know what to do.
I'm gonna call you back, man. We'll get this figured out, man.
Sean Diddy Combs was recently accused in a fourth lawsuit of being involved in the gang essay of a 17-year-old girl, and it seems Young Miami has provided evidence on this. You see, ever since the allegations against Diddy started rolling in, everyone on his camp, including Young Miami, allegedly got caught up in the mix. But Miami has decided not to go down alone. Word on the street is that Young Miami is getting canceled right alongside Diddy. Honestly, it's not that surprising. After all, Diddy's a big player in the industry, and his influence has a lot to do with Miami's status. Now that he's taking a hit, it looks like Miami's taking one too, and she is going down just as hard as Diddy is, and maybe even harder. However, things took a darker turn for her when rumors started circulating about her alleged collaboration with Diddy to harm other women, particularly Diddy's other associate, Gina Huyn, in a public revelation, shared her experiences with Diddy, stating that he was initially nice for the first 3.5 years, but later turned into a cruel and demeaning figure. This revelation prompted speculations about Miami's involvement in the mistreatment of women, with suggestions that her actions played a role in Gina's suffering. It appears that Miami was not the innocent bystander many believed her to be. Rumors suggest that her interactions with Gina led to a messy online feud. For instance, when Gina posted a picture of Diddy kissing her on the cheek, Miami publicly criticized her on Twitter, accusing Gina of seeking attention. This triggered a back-and-forth exchange, with Gina responding on her Instagram stories, asserting that Miami was the one desperate for attention. The social media spat intensified as Miami accused Gina of attempting to use her for clout. The exchange became more heated, with Miami making provocative statements, implying that Gina had been waiting for a moment of fame and insinuating details about Gina's personal life. The feud reached a point where Miami seemed to threaten Gina with a reference to Diddy's alleged behavior. This raised eyebrows and intensified the scrutiny on Miami's actions, contributing to the growing cancellation of both her and Diddy. Insiders now claim that Diddy is distancing himself from Miami, viewing her as a liability due to her outspoken nature. Allegedly, Diddy is concerned that Miami might reveal sensitive information, making her an unreliable ally. The fallout from the feud, combined with Miami's perceived lack of discretion, has fueled speculation that she may be cut off from Diddy's circle. In a surprising turn of events, it is rumored that Miami is now aligning herself with 50 Cent, who announced plans for a documentary exposing every detail about Diddy. You see, a representative for 50 Cent confirmed to TMZ that the 48-year-old rapper's production company G-Unit Films and Television is developing a documentary about the allegations against Combs. The rep said proceeds from the documentary will benefit victims of S.A. and R. Jackson teased a snippet of the documentary on Instagram on Wednesday. In the clip, former Bad Boy Records rapper Mark Curry said Combs would spike bottles of Moet with a substance that would make women at nightclubs slippery. Curry alleged that Combs would tell his friends and associates not to drink from certain bottles.
On them bottles right there, they've been to have something to make the girls be real slippery and all of this kind of stuff. So when you get up, they be like, don't touch them bottles right there.
Also, while promoting the documentary, Jackson took aim at rapper Rick Ross, as well as Combs. He shared lyrics from Ross's verse on the Rocco song You Oino, where Ross raps, "Put Molly all in her champagne, she ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed that. She ain't even know it." The whole idea of making a surviving Diddy documentary started as a joke on the internet, but the idea has since gained massive support. On November 18th, the Bad Boy label and record producers poster with him sitting on a couch and posing arose on Facebook with the title Surviving Puffy and the logo of Netflix on it. Evidently, netizens speculated that someone was making a documentary on the music mogul. Meanwhile, 50 First insinuated that he was considering making a movie called Surviving P. Diddy on November 20th. His suggestion came in the wake of Cassie's lawsuit against the Grammy winner, followed by another lawsuit filed against Diddy's colleague and former Bad Boy label president Harve Pierre on the grounds of AB. In fact, 50 Cent took to his Instagram and posted a screenshot of a headline about Pierre's lawsuit, followed by the caption, "I told you they were coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is a movie, Surviving P. Diddy or Diddy Do It or Not. Executive executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson coming soon. While the fake Netflix poster of Diddy may have been fan-made, 50 Cent meant that the film on the No Way Out rapper would be under legal scrutiny, just like the 2019 documentary titled Surviving R. Kelly. It was made on the R&B singer, who has since been convicted and imprisoned following AB allegations similar to those of Diddy. It is also noteworthy that 50 Cent's post on the alleged Diddy documentary comprised two other related headlines: Diddy's clothing brand Sean John being phased out of Macy's after two-decade partnership from Radar Online, and Diddy's legal battle over tequila brand put on ice until 2024 inches from Billboard. Anyway, aside from hinting that he was thinking of making a documentary on the Bad Boy label producer, the Get Rich or Die Tryin' rapper also trolled Diddy when he settled the Cassie lawsuit. He joked that the defendant paid that money real quick, but not quick enough to stop other women he has allegedly AB'd over the years. A representative for 50 Cent and G-Unit Film and TV confirmed the documentary was in development with the following statement: "The untitled Diddy documentary is in development through G-Unit Film and Television, with Curtis's 50 Cent Jackson serving as executive producer. Proceeds from this documentary that G-Unit Film and Television receives will go to victims of SA and R." Now, Young Miami, reportedly turning against Diddy, is said to be providing insider information to 50 Cent for the documentary. This unexpected collaboration has added another layer to the ongoing saga. For context, aside from Cassie's lawsuit, Diddy has received 3 other lawsuits in the past couple of weeks. In a complaint filed in New York Supreme Court, Joey Dickerson-Neal alleged that Combs SA'd and AB'd her, and that she was the victim of Revenge P created and distributed by the rapper. The suit, which also names Combs' companies Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprises as defendants. According to the complaint, Dickerson-Neal and Combs met while she was a student at Syracuse University in 1991, and she agreed to attend a dinner with him after appearing in one of his music videos. The suit then alleges that Combs intentionally Dickerson-Neal during the dinner, SA'd her, recorded it on video, and shared the tape with others. Dickerson-Neal is suing Combs for substantial and lifetime injuries that she says resulted from the alleged assault, including severe depression and ideation. She is demanding a trial by jury and compensation for alleged mental and emotional injury, distress, pain, and suffering, and injury to her reputation, according to the complaint. In a statement to CNN, a spokesperson for Combs called the allegations made up and not credible, adding that the suit is purely a money grab. This last-minute lawsuit is an example of how a well-intentioned law can be turned on its head. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates companies that did not exist. In a further statement to Variety, a spokesperson for Combs said, "These are fabricated claims falsely alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience or consequence for financial benefit." The New York legislature surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. Diddy's companies have also been named in a separate lawsuit that alleges a longtime executive SA'd a former assistant. The lawsuit accuses Harve Pierre of engaging in a year-long pattern of grooming the unnamed assistant, leading to harassment of plaintiff and SA. From approximately 2016 to 2017, Pierre SA'd plaintiff on multiple occasions in New York City and other locations throughout the country, the suit stated. He left the company in 2017, according to his LinkedIn profile. While Pierre did not immediately respond to a request for comment, a spokesperson for Bad Boy Entertainment said the company was aware of the lawsuit from its former employee. And now, according to the fourth lawsuit, in 2003, a victim going by Jane Doe, who was a 17-year-old 11th grader residing in a suburb of Detroit, Michigan, was allegedly SA'd by Diddy and his associates. At the time, Diddy was 34 years old, twice the age of Miss Doe, and one of the most well-known and influential music artists of all time. A decade earlier, Diddy founded Bad Boy and installed his longtime friend Pierre into the role of president. At the time, Diddy had many connections to Michigan, including, among others, to the Black Mafia family, an illicit substance trader and money laundering organization that is rumored to have seeded Bad Boy. Accordingly, upon information and belief, Diddy associates, including Pierre and the third assailant, spent significant time in and around Detroit, Michigan. On one evening between the spring and fall of 2003, Miss Doe was out with friends. It was not uncommon for her and her friends to frequent bars and lounges in the Detroit area. Certain of Miss Doe's friends were well connected with people in the music industry. On the evening in question, Miss Doe was with friends in a lounge when she was approached by who she later learned was Pierre. Pierre was with his own friends, including the third assailant. Pierre, the third assailant, and their friends were dressed in suits. Pierre repeatedly complimented Miss Doe's appearance, saying that she was hot, among other things. He then began talking about his self-described best friend and brother, Diddy. Specifically, Pierre continually stated that Diddy would love to meet Miss Doe. Pierre even called Diddy and put Miss Doe on the line. Diddy told Miss Doe that he would love to meet her and that she should accompany Pierre to New York City in a private jet. Shortly thereafter, Pierre directed Miss Doe to go with him into the bathroom at the lounge. Once inside the bathroom, Pierre began to smoke nose candy from what appeared to be an aluminum can. After he finished smoking, Pierre suddenly demanded that Miss Doe to conduct oral S on him. After essaying Miss Doe, Pierre directed her to accompany him, the third assailant, and a third member of their group to an airport in Pontiac, Michigan, where Signature, a fixed-base operator, had prepared a private jet to take the four of them to New York City. Upon information and belief, the private jet landed at Teterboro Airport. Upon departing the jet, two black SUVs were awaiting the group. Miss Doe got into an SUV with Pierre, and the third assailant and the other member of the group went in the second SUV. The SUVs brought the group to Daddy's House recording studio, a recording studio and hangout owned and operated by Diddy and Bad Boy. When Miss Doe arrived, she was escorted into the building, where she distinctly remembers seeing a sign for the company, Technicolor. Upon entering the studio, Miss Doe first encountered Diddy. At the time she arrived, a female recording artist was using the studio as Diddy and her parents watched on. She finished up shortly after Miss Doe arrived and left. While still in the studio section of Daddy's House, Diddy asked Miss Doe to sit on his lap to take a picture. Diddy, Pierre, and the third assailant began to ply Miss Doe, a 17-year-old child at the time, with copious amounts of substances and intoxication. While the evening became a blur, Miss Doe does recall Diddy, Pierre, and the third assailant hitting on her and touching her inappropriately. This new lawsuit is filed under the New York City statute against gender-motivated violence. Like several other SA statutes, it has recently been extended to allow suits that would otherwise be barred by the statute of limitations. As alleged in the complaint, defendants preyed on a vulnerable high school teenager as part of an S-trade scheme that involved plying her with substances and intoxication and transporting her by private jet to New York City, where she was gang-arred by the three individual defendants at Mr. Combs' studio, Wigdor said in a statement. The depravity of these abhorrent acts has, not surprisingly, scarred our client for life. The complaint, filed in federal court in New York, includes photographs of the plaintiff, whose face is blurred out, in Combs' studio and sitting in Combs' lap. As a result of being SA'd by Mr. Combs, Mr. Pierre, and the third assailant, Miss Doe suffered significant emotional distress and feels of shame that have plagued her life and personal relationships for 20 years, the lawsuit alleges. The 14-page complaint has a trigger warning on the front page, just like Cassie's did. The suit claims, "This is now the fifth lawsuit filed against Mr. Combs in the last 3 weeks. Incredibly, the allegations brought by Miss Doe are in many ways even more egregious than those brought by his prior victims. Unlike many victims who have come forward after decades, Miss Doe can prove that she not only met Mr. Combs on the night in question, but was in his studio in New York City with him on that night. Remember, when viewing these, Miss Doe was 17 years old. In any case, the woman decided to come forward after reading about another lawsuit filed last month by Cassandra Ventura, the R&B star known as Cassie, who accused Combs of SAing her and beating her over the course of a decade. She also learned of another lawsuit in which Pierre was accused of grooming and SAing his former assistant. Seeing two other women bravely speak out against Mr. Combs and Mr. Pierre, respectively, gave Miss Doe the confidence to tell her story as well, the lawsuit states. Combs quickly settled the lawsuit with Ventura while maintaining his innocence. He has also been hit with two other SA lawsuits in recent weeks and has denied those allegations as well. However, unlike Cassie's case, Diddy has not remained silent on this one. In a statement on Wednesday, Combs declared, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy," he said. "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." Combs stepped aside as chairman of Revolt, the music-themed TV network he founded in 2013, in the wake of the first 3 allegations. The network confirmed Combs' exit from the company in a statement shared on Instagram. Sean Combs has stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt, the statement read. While Mr. Combs has previously had no operational or day-to-day role in the business, this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora. Despite Combs' recent legal troubles, Revolt did not disclose the reason for Combs' departure in the statement. Our focus has always been one that reflects our commitment to the collective journey of Revolt, the statement concluded. One that is not driven by an individual, but by the shared efforts and values of our entire team on behalf of advancing, elevating, and championing our culture. And that continues. Meanwhile, there has been another development in the Cassie lawsuit after it was reported that Cassie's longtime friend and Grammy-winning songwriter Tiffany Red has come forward to publicly corroborate her claims that Diddy essayed to her. "I'm breaking my silence, freeing myself from haunting recollections, standing in solidarity with Cassie and standing up for myself," she began in a bombshell letter published in Rolling Stone. "I fear for my safety as her suit alludes to me, although not by name. I hope that revealing my identity to the public will afford me some measure of protection." Red claims she witnessed a heated confrontation between Cassie and Diddy at a karaoke spot where they all gathered for the Me and You singer's 29th birthday in 2015. "When I walked out of the room, you had her backed into a corner in the hallway outside of the door, and your security surrounded you two as you cursed her out with your hands in her face," the R&B songwriter alleged. "She and I briefly made eye contact. I felt helpless. She looked afraid and kept looking down at the floor. I didn't know what to do. I was scared." Red claimed Cassie asked her to accompany them back to her place, and she did so because she was worried the bad boy executive would hurt his then-girlfriend. "Prior to this incident, Cassie had confided in me that you were physically abusive, and the way you were in her face that night was alarming to me," the music collaborator wrote. "I didn't want to leave her alone." Red claimed that later that night, while at Cassie's house, she was woken up by Diddy's screams, who allegedly shouted at her, "Emotional singing B, where are you? You were visibly intoxicated, and so was Cassie," the songwriter alleged in her letter. "She appeared sedated and very withdrawn. It was the first time I saw her this way." Red claimed Diddy was fuming because Cassie would not have S with him, so she told the I Need a Girl rapper, "She doesn't have to have S with you if she doesn't want to." However, Diddy allegedly responded, "She gon' get this D," and the couple allegedly drove off. "I was terrified for Cassie and completely traumatized," Red wrote. "She later told me you made her have a freak off," which Cassie described in her lawsuit as an arrangement where you would make her perform S acts with male S workers that night. The songwriter, who worked with Cassie on songs like Don't Let Go and Simple Things, added that she has been disturbed to her core over the alleged incident she witnessed. However, Red claimed that the birthday party was not the only incident of AB she allegedly saw. "There were occasions when I heard you yelling at her and making threats, observed her so high I was afraid of her overdosing at a party you threw for her in Malibu, and witnessed both of you getting IVs after a different night of partying," she also claimed in her letter. With Cassie bravely sharing her story, "I'm finally free to share mine. That night of her birthday and so many others are burned in my brain and have tormented me since." Red noted in her letter that, to this day, she still suffers from physical reactions, including sweaty palms, a racing heart, and the onset of a panic attack over what she allegedly witnessed. "I am traumatized by you," she added in her letter to Diddy. "The burden of vocalizing these experiences should never have been mine or anyone else's. I continue to work through the PTSD, paranoia, and anxiety from these events. Your AB of power has inflicted ongoing harm on countless individuals, including myself, my friends, and my peers." In any case, word on the street is that Diddy is not the only mogul who has been allegedly mistreating young ladies. Jay-Z has also become subject of allegations involving the exploitation of young girls in the entertainment industry. Similar to Diddy, Jay-Z is now under scrutiny for his alleged involvement with underage girls, casting a shadow over his long-standing career. The connection between Jay-Z and Diddy goes beyond friendship. They have been each other's confidants for an extended period. Diddy, in a recent interview, revealed that only 2 people are allowed to address him by his government name, Jay-Z and his mother. Their close relationship is evident from various public appearances together, and their camaraderie at industry events further solidifies their bond. However, since Cassie accused Diddy of all those disturbing things, people have been pointing fingers at Jay-Z as well because of how similar this is to what he's done to all the women he's been involved involved with. The controversy surrounding Jay-Z gained momentum when details emerged about his romantic relationship with Foxy Brown when she was just 15 years old and he was 27. The questionable nature of this connection raises concerns about Jay-Z's conduct, especially given the significant age difference. Foxy Brown, in her formative years, allegedly faced pressure and manipulation from Jay-Z in exchange for a promised Hollywood career. One particularly disturbing incident involves Jay-Z's romantic involvement with Foxy Brown when she was merely 15 years old, while he was 27. The allegation suggests that Jay-Z forced Foxy into a relationship in exchange for a promising Hollywood career. The severity of the situation is compounded by claims that Jay-Z paid Foxy substantial amounts to keep the affair a secret. These allegations were not only brought to light by media sources, but also confirmed by Jay-Z's former friend and business partner, Dame Dash.
I thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
Did I sign it? It sounds like you.
All I'm saying is
like
in this industry, when we live in these glass houses.
It seems like you got a question for Jay.
Dame's defensive stance when questioned about Jay-Z and Foxy's affair raises questions about the extent of Jay-Z's involvement in exploitative relationships. Dame revealed more about Jay's very weird obsession with younger girls when he said that he made the decision to stop associating himself with Jay when he realized that Jay had no plans of distancing himself from R. Kelly, even after R. Kelly was exposed for being a predator.
Hell no, I never wanted no parts of that. So when Holmes was doing that shit, I was like, bro, you know our homie violated, and he violated my girl. He violated a friend of yours.
According to Dame, Jay also wanted to get into a relationship with Aaliyah and even began sending her flowers and inviting her to his parties. However, Aaliyah was not interested in Jay because she was already in love with Dame and wanted to be in a relationship with him instead. After Aaliyah's tragic passing, it was rumored that her death was a sacrificial death orchestrated by Jay-Z. Aaliyah allegedly wanted to be on that plane, given a sedative by force, and went unconscious. That's when she was put on the plane without her consent to finish her music video. As if this wasn't bad enough, Jay was also put on blast by Beyoncé's bodyguard Uncle Ron, who revealed that Jay got Beyoncé hooked on substances so that he could control her. This is very similar to what Diddy did with Cassie. She accused Diddy of filling her up with alcohol, including ketamine and ecstasy, causing her to fall into dangerous addictions that controlled her entire life. What's even crazier is that Beyoncé met Jay when she was still underage, and he was pushing 30. In fact, Jay-Z revealed this in a 2007 interview where he said that he and Beyoncé met before she was 18. Though they met when she was 16 years old, they still waited until she turned 18 before he made a move on her. As some of you know, Beyoncé never really had much of a social life growing up. She was tied into her career from the time she was a child, and her parents were very strict. She only ever had one boyfriend while she was in high school. This means she barely had any experience with men before she met Jay. And a lot of people believe that this power imbalance is the reason Beyoncé couldn't bring herself to divorce him after he cheated on her. He's the only man she's known since she was a teenager. As y'all can see, Jay-Z and Diddy have been in this together for a very long time. They've both been exploiting young girls for years now, but it's all being exposed because of Cassie's lawsuit. Jaguar Wright also talked about Jay-Z and Diddy's very bizarre relationship, stating that Jay-Z is the actual kingpin and much worse than Diddy. According to Jaguar, the only reason Jay-Z hasn't been caught yet is that he's much smarter and does things more carefully than Diddy.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
He's patient.
In any case, the likelihood of Diddy facing legal consequences appears to be escalating with each passing day. While no official confirmation has been provided regarding his culpability in the allegations, a growing number of fans are becoming increasingly convinced that the sheer volume of accusations suggests a lack of innocence on his part. This man needs to be locked up forever. I am so serious, one person commented. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.